Folks, welcome to another edition in Real Estate Experts. As always, I'm your host, Glenn Twiddle, bringing you leading experts, authors, negotiators, leading experts from around the country and around the world to help you, the home seller, traverse the minefield that is transacting a property, choosing a real estate agent, really maximising your investment when it comes time to sell your most valuable asset. So I'm here today with one of Victoria's leading real estate experts. He's an author, hired gun negotiator, business entrepreneur for his entire life, and that's none other than Adam Jackson, mate. Thanks so much for hanging out today, bud.
Oh, great to have me on board. Thank you very much.
Mate, your history, see, I know now that you've really focused in on real estate and have been for some time, you've helped client after client, but tell us a little bit about your I suppose, the business legend of your family history. Give us a short, brief back and sides of what your family's been up to over the years.
My family started in boats 1934.
Wow.
And we've been selling boats ever since. In the background of that, we've always been doing land deals and housing deals. So it was a natural progression for me to take when I decided to leave the family.
Yeah, and when you say selling boats, you're one of the largest boat sales companies in the country.
We sold the most amount of boats anywhere in the country.
Wow.
And that was proved. We floated the company later on, and to do that we had to prove to the ASX, or the Australian Stock Exchange, we had to prove to them that what we were saying was in fact true, so we got audited and so forth. We did in fact sell more boats than any business in Queensland or Sydney.
So now, over the last several years, you've taken that business prowess, that salesmanship, and you've applied that in this new field where you've shown the same mastery that you did in that industry, in this industry. So tell us a little bit about what brought you to real estate and why, and what you saw in real estate that really needed your unique brand of expertise.
Well, like I said before, it was a natural progression because the family was already deeply embedded in real estate as it was. People knew us for the glossy, shiny boats, but real estate was always there for us. I just wanted to get into real estate. I love building things, and I was just getting so excited that I just wanted to go the next step, and I thought the next step was actually to help people get into their homes.
So tell us about, I suppose, the differences. So, because not everyone's got such an easy logical choice as just let's choose Adam Jackson because you're not in Brisbane or you're not in Sydney.
Correct.
So if someone was in Brisbane or Sydney, what sort of criteria should they be on the lookout that would identify the Adam Jackson of their area as opposed to someone who's just sort of talking the talk? How do we find someone who's walking the talk?
Best suggestion for you, Glenn, go and do one of their open for inspections. Go around to your home, go around to the area you're looking at, go to all the open for inspections and check out and see what the agents are doing and how they're treating you. How they're making you feel. Are they making you feel welcome?
Right.
Are they making you feel important, or are they just making you feel like
So surely that would be just par for the course though, being nice.
No, it should be, but it's not. In fact, there was a recent study that my mentor and coach undertook recently with me, Australia-wide, went around 150 different homes, went to visit. Of those homes, only 1/3 of the people, after you said, I'm just looking, to the salesman, even treated the person with any respect. They just brushed them off like, well, that's later.
Wow.
So 1/3.
Wow, okay.
Now, of those, sorry to interrupt,
go ahead.
of those, 2/3 of those 150 people, that's 100 people, didn't even follow up later on, didn't give them an SMS, nothing,
Wow.
no letters, no emails, nothing, just didn't want to have anything to do with them. And that's just not right.
So what sort of follow-up should we be expecting then if we were going to go to an agent? Because that's what my audience is after. They're after, how do we choose the best agent?
Okay.
So really that's quantifiable, isn't it? We can actually specifically say, right, so what's a good agent, what's a medium agent, and what's someone that we should run a million miles from with regards to follow-up?
Get your checklist out. Okay? It's very, very simple. First of all, they've got to make you feel welcome and important, but not be shotgunning you around the house, showing you all the rooms and so forth. Let you wander, let you have your own space. Perhaps they might email you or text you as soon as you leave the property to say, hey, thanks for coming stopping by. Appreciate your time, because I know you know it takes time, and thank you very much for that. Maybe later in the day, just follow up, see how you went during the day. You might not be your property, might be another property, but hopefully it's your property. And then on Monday, just to clarify everything, see how things are settling, give them another call, or perhaps just an email just to follow them up again And that's it. That's very easy. It's 3 things. An SMS as you leave, a phone call at the end of the day, and another communication on Monday. It's not a hard thing.
Yeah.
And all the way through, they've got to be polite to you. They've got to instill to you, how we say, confidence and communication skills, because the number one thing today is communication. And if you don't think they're communicating with you at that level, they're not going to be doing that with your buyers for your home as well. So that's what you've really got to look for. Very important.
So my next question that my audience is often asking is, I suppose the discussion on cost, how much it costs to transact a property, whether selling a home and all that sort of thing. Because there are some agents out there that are, charging a year's wages, a year's income for the normal Australian for their fees, and then there are some that seem like they're going to work for free. So. And I know that you're not the cheapest in the marketplace, but you're certainly not the most expensive. You're somewhere, you're charging a fair and reasonable fee. But so how does the viewer out there know? Are they paying too much? Are they paying too little? And why are these guys doing it so cheap? Sort of, what's your take on how much agents are charging? And it's everywhere.
That's a very good question. It's a question I get asked every time. Now, the main thing you've got to think about as the viewer, you've got to realise, what do you actually want out of the transaction? Are you after a cheap upfront cost, or are you after the most money in your pocket? What sticks to your pocket? Now, granted, everybody out there, including myself, will try to get you the most. I will never, ever undersell your home. That's what you've got to look out for. Don't look out for what you're going to get. Make sure you're not getting undersold. You will get undersold with the cheap guys, because they'll be after the very first sale they can get, just to get it in their pocket, and they're out. That's how they work. They work in bulk, okay? They're selling so cheaply, they have to work lots of them. Volume. But if you want quality, you go for somebody a little bit higher. Ask them for some records. Don't just take them at their word. Ask them, tell them to prove themselves. Maybe get them to role play with you. I don't know. You could certainly try that. But you must ask for proof. If they say they're worth X, tell them to prove it.
Yeah, okay.
But you'll be paying more. Say you pay $5,000. But that agent you're paying the $5,000 rather than the $2,000 will probably make you $40,000 more.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to pay $5,000 for $40,000, or $5,000 for $15,000, or $5,000 for $10,000?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a no-brainer, really. So that's the thing to look out for, I'd suggest.
I like how you kind of word that really what you're saying in so many words is that the best agent is either cheap or free. The best agent is the cheapest. And if you, and I've seen with so many clients saying of yourself that you more than paid for yourself. So effectively you're working for them for free.
Well, you do. You end up, but you got to watch how you phrase that, because otherwise someone will go off and they'll say, oh, you are the cheapest, so you must be the best. The best agent becomes the cheapest agent.
Yeah.
That's how I like to phrase it anyway. I'm sorry to paraphrase that a little bit, but
cool.
Yes, indeed. And the best agent will actually get all of their feedback. And
then some. And then a return on investment.
You get that extra cream on the top. I know, it's the way to go. And their experience, they'll take you through the communication skills. Just everything will be a smooth sailing. There won't be any hiccups and any bumps there, because they're very experienced. And the best thing that they've got going for them is their negotiation skills, which is what you're really employing them for.
So let me ask you this. It's something you mentioned in your book that I'm going to hit you up cheekily for our audience a bit later. But so you talk about this massive mistake that you've seen so many home sellers make, and you describe that in the book as the worst thing that potentially can cost tens of thousands of dollars to a home seller. Take us through that mistake and why it's an easy trap to fall into. And you did allude to it in the last question.
I did a little bit on the ego part. Well, it's called buying listings. Well, we call it buying listings. There's a name. That's how bad it is. There's an actual name for it called buying.
So that's how often it happens that it's got a name.
It happens a lot. It happens every time. I see it every week happening. And what it means, someone comes along and your house is worth, let's just say it's $500,000 roughly. Okay, I'll come along, or beg your pardon, someone else will come along. It won't be me, and they'll say $600,000, and you'll go, wow. 600. Then the greed kicks in and the ego kicks in, and you're like, I want this guy because he says the most money. But he's going to stuff you up. Really
so
badly.
wouldn't it make sense for the consumers? Because if the consumers are falling for this trap that you describe so often,
all the time.
But wouldn't it make sense then for us to, if there's a chance to get 600, shouldn't we explore that chance?
Sure, you should. You just got to watch out for getting in bed with the wrong person for the wrong reason. These other guys I'm talking about with regards to the pricing, they'll then bang you over the head for weeks at a time, maybe even months at a time, because it'll take you so long to get from this, where you're expecting to get up here, way down to here. Then you're at about the right market, but it's too late. You just missed the market because, I don't know if you know, Glenn, but you've got about 2 weeks when you first launch your property. That's a 2-week window to get everybody you can on board. Now that's grabbing everybody from the internet, from the newspapers, from magazines, from referrals, from just everywhere, because it's a brand new home. Now after about 2 weeks, your property starts to go stale. People go, well, hang on, what's wrong with that property? You know, is there something wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually just come back to the right mark.
Yeah, but we've blown it.
You've blown your
by
chance.
wasting those 2 weeks.
You've blown most of your chance, and all those guys that are just, they've been missing out on houses, and they're ready to bite. You've missed them because they've gone off and bitten on another house and they're gone. So it is a very, very big mistake. If you know what you're doing and you know you're going into it overpricing your house, well, good luck. But I would never do it. That is the worst strategy in your whole life.
So you mentioned before that about when we're talking about how much agents charge, you sort of again alluded to this concept, but you use your marketing to drive buyers up rather than having, like you just said then, other agents driving sellers down. Tell us a little bit about how your marketing results in your patented Adam Jackson system of getting buyers competing with each other, but not always through auction, is it? There's sort of lots of different methods to your skills.
And it's such a simple thing. We do quality marketing and we reach out to the greater audience. We just cover every base. That way we know everybody's going to know about the home, everybody who's going to be interested, any prospects are going to come to us. Then we're going to get them emotionally attached, and we're going to have competition because we've just grabbed the whole marketplace has come to our house. They're emotionally engaged, and that is when the competition starts. That is when magic happens, and we get the price starts from here, here, here. Now it's all very open and honest, but it just keeps on, and it's not actually an auction we're running, okay? Auctions are a different thing, but people are just like, no, I want it, no, I want it, no, I want it. And we get the higher price. We might start down here, we might end up higher than that 600 guy.
Yeah, I've seen you do that. I've seen you pull off what seems miraculous.
You can't start up here and think that everyone's just going to, oh yeah, that's worth 600. Yeah. Because they might not even be on their search engine. Now, if they're on a search engine, it won't come up because they're not looking at that area. But once we get them in here and they start looking, that's what happens. Yep.
I've heard one of my guests, and in fact the great man on Sky News, Tom Panos, say that records are created by competition. Like competition creates records in the swimming pool, and competition creates records in real estate.
True words.
So you've absolutely nailed that and epitomised that. So on that, on the subject of the marketing that you mentioned, it sounds like if we've got a marketing campaign that is going to grab every buyer in the marketplace, it sounds like we're starting to talk about something expensive. It sounds like someone's about to put their hand out for a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 marketing check, full page ads in the Qantas in-flight magazine and the Melbourne Age and the Courier Mail. Tell me about how much we should be investing in marketing in order to maximise it but not overspend.
It's a tough one. It depends on your home. It depends on what you really want out of your home. If you want a quick sale, a good sale. But really what it comes down to it, look, there's an old rule of thumb, I'll just go back to that. Used to say, a long time ago, about invest 1% marketing. It's not so true today because our marketing is digital and it gets out to inexpensively to a wider place.
Right.
So let's take, for example, another, off the beat. You've got a car. Say your car's worth $80,000. You're paying the insurance company, what, 1%, 2% to make sure that if you have a crash, they'll fix it up again, it'll be all good? Okay. If nothing happens that year, okay, you've lost $800. Worst that can happen. All right, let's just look at take that analogy, bring it back to real estate. Instead of, if we're paying $2,200, maybe 0.5% on a $400,000 house, and later on we realised, we probably could have got away with maybe $1,200. Have we lost what?
Yeah, maybe $1,000 or something. Yeah.
Had we not done that in the first place, we may have lost the opportunity to get Joe Bloggs over here and this guy over here, which we're going to pay $30,000 more.
So it's like insuring,
exactly,
isn't it?
It's just an insurance. It's insurance to make sure you have grabbed everybody you can to show them the house, to compete and fight over that house of yours.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. It's like ensuring that we don't undersell it.
That's right.
To maximize
and that's the title of my book.
Yeah, wow.
Don't be undersold.
Wow. Okay, understood. Well, on that
you
note,
see what I'm saying?
On that note, we've got to hit for the audience up. If I can hit you up for a copy, we'll just put the URL up there. Could I hit you up for a copy of the book? I know you're selling it on Amazon,
Okay.
But I'll hit you up for a freebie, mate.
Just for your guys. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
Excellent, mate. So I suppose my last question, and it's to go on from that marketing discussion, and that's the advent. You mentioned digital media, how it is getting more affordable. And when I say digital media, things like those videos that you're SMSing out, that's a short version of your full, what looks like you're making movies on these homes. Sometimes they look like they're expensive. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're leading the way using video and other new age and cutting edge marketing things in your systems?
No, well, I think I alluded to it a little bit earlier on. Every home that comes through me always gets a video. Now that video, there's several different types of videos, but at least one video. Now we don't generally do. When I say video, I'm not talking about just a bunch of photos that just scroll across and have elevator music. Okay, I'm not talking. That's not video. That is just.
We could scroll through photos at our own pace. We don't
exactly.
need that.
I wasn't going to be so nice about that, but that's not video. Okay, that's just scrolling photos. Okay, I'm talking about video where we draw the people in. We make them think that they're living there. We show them the kitchens where they'll be making their meals. We show them places they're going to be relaxing. We use these words. We use special emotionally evoking words and gestures and everything, and that draws people in. Most people these days. When was the last time you bought, say, something over the internet?
Yeah, this morning.
Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Everybody's buying over the internet these days. In fact, when I was selling boats, they were buying boats over the internet as well. And I'm talking $60,000 to $100,000 boats. So people buy things and they love to investigate and know everything about something before they buy it. And the internet is just perfect for that setup. So people go and they log onto our site, they check out the video. They've already done their first inspection before they get to us. Yeah. And that's the key. This is what speeds up. This is very important. Stay with me on this one, because when they actually get to us and they meet us in person, all we are is just extra, and we're helping them through their second inspection. That is when real magic happens, because they're already excited. They wouldn't have turned up to the second inspection. They've done their first. Now they're there to actually feel the feel and really get stuck into the house, and they want to negotiate. They wouldn't turn up otherwise. It's the second inspection when people would think it was their first, but with us, second. So what we've done is we've sped up the whole buying process. Houses get sold faster and stronger, by the way. No more falling off because of finances and building and pest, and a lot of those things are gone. Well, they're minimised, shall I say, not gone, but minimised. So we get a stronger buyer. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much for all that. I tell you, folks, I hope that's been as informative for you as it has been for me. Mate, I really thank you for, and just once again, I'll hit up the website for you. We'll put that up on the thing there. If you go to that website, you can grab a copy of Adam's book. Mate, tell us a little bit about what prompted the book, what's in there, and and why you decided to get your brain kind of into that format for the public.
All these simple mistakes people were making out there, and they were so simple, but people they weren't in the right world to see it. And I thought, well, now I can explain to them in simple layman's language, just make it easy for them so they know the other side of it. Yeah. If you're well informed, you're well armed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
That's really, and I don't want anyone to have to ever undersell their home.
Yeah, beautiful.
They never should.
So grab a copy of Adam's book. You'll be doing yourself a favour, mate. Thanks so much for hanging out for today.
I've been great hanging out with you.
Thanks, mate.
Always.
So, folks, that's another episode of Real Estate Experts in the Can. I hope that's been informative for you. Do avail yourself of Adam's book. You'll be doing yourself a favour. For Adam Jackson, I'm Glenn Twiddle. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.